If you think buying a hypercar is the ultimate flex, wait until you see the numbers. In this video, we're talking about multi-million-dollar luxury cars, insane depreciation, and the real cost of ownership that most rich owners never admit. We'll break down how much money you actually burn on these hypercars in 2026, from purchase price and maintenance to how much you lose the second you drive them off the showroom floor. Let's get into 5 of the most expensive hypercars that secretly turned into multi-million-dollar money pits. Number 1. Bugatti Chiron Supersport. The Chiron Supersport is the definition of excess. A quad-turbo 8.0-litre W16 engine, around 1,600 horsepower, and a top speed that pushes towards 300 miles per hour. The exterior is a rolling piece of art. The signature Bugatti horseshoe grille, the C-line flowing into those massive rear haunches, active aero, and that long-tail design for high-speed stability. From the front, the car has this menacing but elegant presence. Razor-sharp LED headlights, massive air intakes that look like they're ready to inhale the road, and a stance so wide it almost doesn't look street legal. Move to the side and you see that iconic sweeping C-line carved into the body, framing the cabin and feeding air into the giant engine behind you. At the back, the single light bar, giant diffuser, and huge central exhaust make it look more like a spaceship than a car. Inside, it's a private jet on 4 wheels. Full leather and Alcantara, hand-stitched everything, milled aluminum switchgear, and a cockpit that feels like a luxury watch. No giant screens or gimmicks. It's old-school analog luxury with insane build quality. The dials and buttons feel like they came from a Swiss watchmaker, not a car factory. The customization options are almost endless. Exposed carbon in different tints, special paints, unique leathers, custom logos, even matching luggage. And each car feels like a one-off. What really makes it crazy is how refined it is. You can cruise at highway speeds and it's quieter and smoother than most luxury sedans. The suspension soaks up bumps, the steering is light at low speeds, and the cabin is insulated from wind noise despite the insane performance capability. Then, the moment you press the throttle, all 1,600 horses wake up, the turbos spool, and this 4,000-plus pound monster just launches like a bullet. Few cars in the world can blend that level of comfort, craftsmanship, and raw power. But here's the financial punch in the face. By the time you've spec'd a Chiron Supersport, you're often sitting well over $3.5 to $4 million all in. And despite the limited production, not every Chiron owner is walking away richer. Some examples have traded hands on the secondary market for significantly less than the original invoice once the hype cooled, and finance costs, taxes, and commissions are factored in. Add in insurance that can hit 6 figures per year, maintenance that can easily cost tens of thousands just for tires and service, and the reality that your capital is locked in a car that barely gets driven. Your total loss, between depreciation, opportunity cost, and running costs, can easily climb towards 7 figures over a few years. And here's the brutal truth nobody talks about. Even if the asking price for Chirons looks strong on paper, your real all-in return is often negative once you include 10 to 15% in taxes, dealer fees, storage, detailing, and the fact that those millions could have been compounding somewhere else. That's what turns a dream hypercar into a quiet $1 to $2 million money pit. Quick pause here. If you like brutally honest financial breakdowns of luxury cars and hypercars, hit that subscribe button right now. I don't sell cars to you. I show you the numbers that dealers and influencers don't like to talk about. Number 2. Pagani Huayra Roadster. The Huayra Roadster is hypercar craftsmanship at an insane level. It's powered by a Mercedes-AMG 6.0-litre twin-turbo V12, making around 750 to 800 horsepower depending on the version. It's not just about straight-line speed. It's about theatre, active aero flaps, a screaming exhaust note, and a driving experience that feels totally raw and mechanical. On the outside, every panel looks like a sculpture. Exposed carbon fibre weaving patterns, dramatic curves, butterfly doors, and a removable roof that turns it into an open-air spaceship. Even parked, it looks like it's moving. The tiniest details, the mirrors, the vents, the door hinges, all look like they belong in a design museum. Inside, the Huayra might have the most detailed interior in the entire car world. It's like stepping into a piece of art. Exposed metal linkages for the gear selector, watch-style dials, machined knobs, and leather that looks like something out of a high-end yacht. The pedals are sculpted aluminum. The steering wheel is a mix of leather, carbon fibre and metal, and feels like holding a luxury timepiece. There's colour-matched bolts, visible carbon weave on the tub, and even the screws look like they were designed by an artist. When you start the V12, it doesn't just turn on, it wakes up the whole car. There's a mechanical whir, a bark from the exhaust, and then this rich metallic sound that builds with the revs. On the move, the car feels alive. You hear the turbos, the whine of the transmission, the flaps adjusting for aero. It's dramatic, loud, and emotional in a way almost no modern car is anymore. But this art piece comes at a massive financial cost. New, these cars have been easily in the $3 to $4 million range when you add customization. While some ultra-limited specs can appreciate, many regular Huayras or less hyped specs don't sell at insane premiums anymore. If you bought at peak hype, it's very possible you're looking at a resale price that's flat or below what you paid when you include taxes, options, and dealer markups. Then there are the running costs. This is not a car you drop off at your local shop. Specialized servicing, parts that are essentially handmade, and the constant cost of preserving that art piece condition add up fast. You're paying for detailing that's more like watch restoration, storage that keeps humidity perfectly controlled, and insurance that treats the car like a rolling Picasso. Even if the sticker price doesn't depreciate heavily on paper, your real-world loss, including fees, storage, insurance, and missed investment returns, can push your total cost well into the high six or low seven figures over a few years. And if you ever need to sell in a hurry, that's when reality hits. The ultra-niche buyer pool means you may have to discount heavily just to move it. That's how a handcrafted dream can become a very expensive money pit. Number 3, McLaren Speedtail. The Speedtail is McLaren's Hyper GT rocket. A hybrid powertrain with over 1,000 horsepower, a top speed of around 250 miles per hour, and that famous 3-seat layout with the driver in the center, like the legendary McLaren F1. It's built to be the fastest road car in McLaren's lineup, with ultra-slippery aerodynamics and an insanely long, sleek tail. From the outside, it looks like something that landed from the future. No big wings, just smooth, flowing surfaces, covered rear wheels for aero efficiency, and a long, elegant profile that makes everything else on the road look clumsy. The doors open upwards, revealing a teardrop-shaped cabin. The whole car looks like a wind tunnel experiment that escaped the lab. Inside, the central driving position is the star. You sit in the middle with 2 passenger seats slightly behind you on each side. The dashboard wraps around the driver with digital screens instead of traditional gauges. The materials are top tier, carbon fibre everywhere, leather, Alcantara, and metal accents. The cabin feels like a minimalist spaceship, clean, futuristic, and focused entirely on the driver. The tech is wild. The hybrid system doesn't just add efficiency, it fills in torque and power to keep you pinned to the seat. The steering is light but precise, and the car feels incredibly stable, even at ridiculous speeds. Despite the performance, the Speedtail is meant to be a grand tourer. It's more comfortable than you'd expect, with decent ride quality and noise insulation for such a focused machine. Financially though, the story isn't as pretty. Original pricing hovered around the $2 to $3 million mark, depending on spec and options. But unlike the McLaren F1, the Speedtail hasn't become an automatic, you-can't-lose investment. When the market cooled and some owners quietly tried to sell, not every car hit the wild premiums they expected, especially for less desirable specs or higher mileage examples. On top of that, McLaren's image for long-term reliability and resale value isn't as bulletproof as some of its rivals. Complex hybrid systems, limited service centers, and ultra-specialized parts mean your maintenance and repair risk is high. And when you're dealing with a low-volume, highly experimental car, any unexpected issue can turn into a six-figure repair bill. Even if headline auction prices look decent, the net number after dealer fees, transport, insurance, and upkeep often tells a different story. For some owners, the Speedtail has quietly eaten through hundreds of thousands in depreciation and running costs, turning a futuristic dream into a very modern financial mistake. Number 4. Ferrari LaFerrari. The LaFerrari is one of the modern holy trinity of hybrid hypercars. A naturally aspirated V12 plus an electric motor, over 950 horsepower, and a top speed north of 217 miles per hour. It's pure Ferrari drama, a screaming engine, aggressive aerodynamic design, and a badge that screams status. Outside, the LaFerrari looks like a race car that escaped from the track. Sharp lines, big intakes, a low, pointed nose, and a rear end that's all diffuser and exhaust. The proportions are classic Ferrari hypercar, long, low, and wide. The active aero keeps it glued to the asphalt at speed, while the sculpted body makes it look like it's doing 200 miles per hour, even when it's parked. Inside, it's very much a focused driver's car. You're surrounded by carbon fiber with bucket seats that are more like racing shells. The steering wheel is loaded with controls. Engine modes, indicators, wipers, just like an F1 wheel. The digital instrument cluster lights up with bright graphics, and the whole cabin feels tight, serious, and purposeful. It's not a lounge, it's a cockpit. On the road, the V12 is the star of the show. It revs like crazy, sounds like an old-school F1 car, and the electric motor fills in torque instantly. The car feels incredibly fast, but what makes it special is the way it delivers that speed. Noisy, dramatic, and full of emotion. This is the kind of car people dream about when they think Ferrari hypercar. When these cars first hit the market, prices went crazy. Many early buyers saw their cars jump well above the original price, and some still trade at strong numbers. But here's the part people don't love to say out loud. Not every LaFerrari purchase was a win. If you bought at peak auction hype, or you paid a huge premium just to be in the club, the market today is much more sober. Some late buyers are now sitting on cars that, after tax, premiums, and storage, haven't exactly been investments. On top of that, the hybrid system, batteries, and highly specific parts mean long-term ownership is not cheap. Even routine service on a Ferrari hypercar is serious money. You're not just paying for oil changes. You're paying for specialist technicians, proprietary diagnostics, and parts that are often made in tiny batches. Storing it properly, keeping it maintained, and dealing with any age-related issues on a complex hybrid system can eat deep into your wallet. If your car doesn't have the perfect spec, history, and mileage, your resale value may not justify everything you've poured into it. Factor in the opportunity cost of what that capital could have done elsewhere. And for some owners, the LaFerrari has quietly shifted from blue-chip investment to expensive passion project, financially closer to a money pit than a magic asset. Number 5. Koenigsegg Jesko. The Jesko is a numbers monster. A twin-turbo V8 making up to around 1,600 horsepower on E85, insane top speed potential, and active aerodynamics that generate ridiculous downforce. It's a technical masterpiece, from the engine design to the gearbox and suspension. From the outside, the Jesko looks like a razor blade on wheels. Huge intakes, aggressive front splitter, side skirts, and a massive rear wing that looks like it belongs on a race car. The proportions are lean and athletic, with exposed carbon in many parts and details that scream engineering overkill. Everything is there for a reason: cooling, stability, and ultimate performance. Open the iconic Koenigsegg doors and you step into a surprisingly clean, high-tech interior. There's a compact steering wheel with integrated screens, a central touchscreen, and high-quality materials everywhere: leather, Alcantara, carbon fiber, and milled metal. The seats are slim but supportive, and visibility is better than you'd expect for such an extreme car. It feels more modern and minimalist than many rivals, but still special and expensive. The driving experience is on another planet. The engine revs to crazy RPM, the gearbox shifts almost instantly, and the car can generate track-level grip thanks to that massive downforce. On track, it's one of the most capable hypercars ever built. On public roads, it's basically a road-legal race car with license plates. But this level of engineering art doesn't come cheap. Pricing is deep into 7 figures, easily climbing toward $3 million or more with options. And while the production numbers are low and demand is strong right now, that doesn't automatically mean every car is a guaranteed win financially. The risks are very real. First, it's ultra niche. Your buyer pool is a handful of ultra-wealthy enthusiasts who know exactly what they want. If the market cools or tastes shift, you may find yourself having to discount hard to move the car. Second, any out-of-warranty issues, accidents, or mechanical problems on a car, this complex can be astronomically expensive. You're not getting parts from a shelf. A lot of the components are bespoke, low-volume pieces that take time and serious money to replace. Third, you're tying up millions of dollars into a car that might sit in storage most of the time, while regulations around emissions and noise are constantly tightening and could affect long-term values. Even if headline auction numbers look strong for perfect examples with perfect provenance, individual owners can still lose huge amounts once you factor in taxes, financing, shipping to and from service centers, insurance, and opportunity cost. One bad timing decision, buying too high, selling in a soft market, or facing an unexpected repair, can easily swing your ownership experience from exclusive dream to 7-figure money pit. So what's the real lesson from these $2 million mistakes? Hypercar ownership in 2026 is not just about performance or status. It's about understanding the full financial picture. Purchase price is only the first hit. Depreciation, maintenance, insurance, storage, taxes, and the opportunity cost of locking millions into a car that does a few hundred miles a year all add up, quietly in the background. If you enjoyed this kind of brutal financial breakdown of the world's most exclusive cars, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. On this channel, we don't just show you dream cars. We show you whether they make any financial sense at all. And in the next video, we'll look at the hypercars and supercars that actually surprise everyone by holding value or even making money.